Okay, so because I don't know which chat is which, I might have to open them both up. YouTube hasn't figured out how to merge them, I guess. I don't know. That one's muted. Let me get the link for the other one. This cat. So last time, I made these switches. Let's get on single player mode. Sup, Cowboy Bob? How you doing? So last time when I streamed, I said I wanted to make these power switches, right, into switches. Like these turn on things, like, but they turn on other switches. Like, so these switches here don't work until these switches are on, but they don't use the switch class that I made. So I'm going to make them use the switch class. To simplify things. So this is where I ended. So I just call this switch, right? Then I gain access to all of this. Yeah. So some of the stuff that's in this, the powered switch, will have to be moved over, I think, to the switch. And then we can go from there. How's your day been? So I think the first thing to do is maybe go into the inspector to compare them. Actually, I probably need a header here, just so I can see where the powered switch is. Has to be ITCH. So this is down here, the powered switch stuff. I just have an on and off sprite. And this is a list of powered switches, which is now null. Oh, so these other switches that I have that are in here have now lost, I think, the link to these switches. Powered switch. Oh, they're still pointing there. I want to change the powered switch to just switch though. So then I can have a switch that powers on a switch. Like you have to do like this. These are set up so you come over here, you turn it on, it turns this off. So you can go through and then you can hit this switch and then it'll turn this back on. So those both are in tandem. They always match each other's state. But I do want to have like series where a couple of switches have to be turned on in order for the entire thing to go. I think that would be cool too. So instead of this being a list of powered switches, it's going to be a list of switches, which these powered switches are now regular switches. So in here, I had the list powered switch. So the part that's going to fall apart, I think, is when I check to see if a powered switch's state is on. I don't have that, do I? Oh, because I'm calling it a powered switch here. In powered switches, that's so weird. I'm not gonna call it powered anyways. I'm gonna call it I'm gonna call it required switch. Required switches. And then this is just going to be for each switch in. Oh, I can do a right click rename instead. Required switch. And required switches. This dot is on is going to be what? I gotta check this state. So if the state, if required switch dot state is if I just do this, will it give me that? Okay, that dot, and then either powered on. That's what I want, right? For the powered switches, I think that's what I want to do. So we have a switch. Is on is false. I don't need that anymore. And I think I want the lever switches. Okay. See how I named that switch lever switch? I kind of wish I had this switch underscore. It's not too late. Switch underscore powered switch. I think that's what I will end up doing. Is I'll make another class. I'll copy this stuff over to it. Switch underscore powered switch. I gotta wait for Unity to do its thing, right? Oh, okay. And then I'm gonna take everything inside this powered switch. I'm gonna put it in here. This is a switch. If is on equals true, this, okay. So in this is going to be if state is equal to powered on, then show the powered on sprite, otherwise show the powered off sprite. Those are there. And same thing here. If it's on, we just return true, so because we don't have to deal with any logic anymore. There, I'm setting state to powered on if the user hits the E button to interact. Now, I'm assuming that the E to interact, or this character, is only set if they have an energy pack. Cool, cool. I think that's all I need there, right? All right. So I'm going to delete one of these switches. Oops. Only because I'll just I'll work on this one and then I'll duplicate it over. So for sprites, let's go in here. Is this it? That's the PNG, so could be down towards the bottom. Actually, I should just open this sprite editor and get the name, because it could be anywhere, right? Bunch of blank tiles. Here we go. So that's that. We'll go click back on here. This is the off. Powered switches. Oh, hold on. Hold the phone. Required switches, mirrored switches. Where is my... Where's that? Oh. This needs to be deleted. Remove that. I don't know why it's complaining. Oh, is it a prefab? Let's unpack this. There we go. So now we're going to add a switch, powered switch. Bring that up here. Okay, so now I have a powered off sprite and a powered on sprite. There are no required switches and there are no mirrored switches. So the mirrored switches is like this one has a mirrored switch which points to this, and this has a mirrored switch that points back. So when one is turned, it knows to tell the other one to turn as well. From a distance though, I can't really tell that there's a bar here. I'm going to change that as well. I'll do that in the sprite editor as soon as I'm done fixing these up. These are pretty dang close to being done already though, which is right. Yeah, so all I need is these to point to those two. So I'll take this. And also I noticed like this sprite comes down way too far, or not this tile. Where is my half drop? Or maybe if I erase it, make sure I'm on background. Yep. Oh, let's put a an actual. Okay. Show those again, and then for this powered switch, I think yes, I'm going to make it into a prefab. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, and then I'm gonna replace it with the new one. And then I'm going to bring it back out into here. Something like that. Let's select this tool. I'll move this switch to there. So with these two switches selected, I believe I can just drag and drop these into the requirements. Just like that. So everything should work as normal now. There might be one other thing. I guess that doesn't matter. Like the current state of these switches might not be powered. And that's kind of the point, right? So they shouldn't be like powered off. They should be unpowered off, I suppose. But they say powered off. Does that matter? I don't know. Okay, so wait for this to spawn. That's probably too long too, by the way. Like, okay, that took, light came on. Oops. Like that time I have to wait. I will speed that up. Close. So what's going on now is those are powered on, both of them. And the switches what is their current state is unpowered off when it should be unpowered on now. They should be lit up with a red handle. So let's go to the switches and see what's up with that. So remember, I changed this from switch or from powered switch to switch, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that script, the powered switch script. Hello. Yeah, your mom wants you to bring down any of the books that you don't need anymore. There's a little box over there, you can put them in.
Okay.
Oh no, she's gonna take it to the library or what?
Okay. What'd you guys have for dinner?
Hot dogs. You might need to make something. I don't know if she made enough.
I think I'll just have the leftover lasagna.
Okay. Okay, so now that those are out of the way, this is gone now. So the lever switch needs to, is it an update? It does call base update, and base update is what does the thing, right? There's nothing in base update. So if state is this, nope. Here we go. If is all powered on is true. That's in switch, isn't it? If is all powered on is false, then if state equals that. Okay, so this equals, this goes to this, and that goes through here. So for each switch, required switch and required switches, if required switch.state is powered on. Oh. Let's say if it doesn't equal, how about that? If it doesn't equal powered on, then return false. That's the fix, right? Do I need to scoot over? There we go. Single player. What was the other thing I said was going to change besides the time here? Was it the graphic? I already did that though. The tile. Oh, the tile for the handle. See, turning this on and off also changes that one because they're linked. They're mirrored. so now what I want to do is go and change that sprite. And I'll use Krita. I was a little sad to see that the Canva replacement for alternative, how about the Canva alternative to Photoshop wasn't that great. But then there's some online one that's very similar apparently to Photoshop, so that might be worth checking out. Yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit more like that, and then I'll just move this over to the green and grab that, put it there, so it's still there, it's just not so bright. And I did do the PNG, right? Yeah, we'll see how that looks. I mean, I can see how it looks now, but in contrast to the powered on version. It's very rare that he will bump on that wall and then come back down. It does happen though. That'll be my next thing. Is to, I think I want climbing. Yeah, I think that's more obvious. Is just up. I think I want climbing down as well. If not, I do definitely need to have them like get off the wall instead of just sticking around, right? Coolies. Okay, let's get him to run up there one more time. Oh, wrong button. No, I'm gonna get stuck. Yay. Oh, I could have took a ride. Okay, so he's gonna go over there. And then he gets stuck. Okay. So looking at his options here, he does have a front collision. He's detecting that, and he should be detecting the toe. Is top collision. So he's upside down. I don't know if his top collision should be true. Right, but there's a hole check somewhere. Has front hole is toe. So toe needs to be positive as well. So let's make sure that toe is actually checking based on his orientation, as well as top. So let's go to Xenomorph. Area check. There we go. This is what I want. So I said I want to check for toe and top. Oh, excuse me. Check position plus ground layer for the Y. Nope, check position is the vector 2. Transform dot position plus this. So I do flip on the X, but I don't flip on the Y. So So I have check direction. I believe I also have check direction Y. Check Y direction. I wonder if I shouldn't replace both of those with a public like vector to int check direction. Just make it equal to vector to int dot 0, right? And then comment these out, and then I'll get a whole bunch of errors, but I can fix all of that. So check direction now, instead of saying equals 0, by default this was just x. So all the check directions or check direction dot x's. Oops. Okay, dot x, and then where's the lonely? This one, we check direction dot y. And that's surprisingly all. So if I'm upside down, that's when I want to flip the check direction y. So going back to the was it the toe? Yeah, is toe collision. Check position. Oh, so I can just do that now. Vector 2 check position equals. Oh no. Check direction. Whew. Man. This is going to be times check direction as well. Dot y, sorry. What I don't know though, where do I set check direction y? Check for toe collision. So where that's just in the xenomorph, right? There should be some errors here. Okay. Area check dot check direction equals check direction. Check direction is just an integer, not a vector to int anymore. So this can be in both direction and y direction, huh? So this is now a new vector to int check direction and check direct or y direction and y direction. And I wonder if I shouldn't take both of these and make it into a vector to int as well. As a private vector to int direction equals vector to int dot 0. Comment this out. And that's a lot, which is fine. This is just going to say this equals that, just like that. But for y direction, how many of those do I have? This is direction.y now. And for just regular direction. I'm gonna do this slower because I don't want to replace direction.y with direction.x .y, and I said it out loud. Okay. Gravity. Default gravity. Yes, right. Velocity.y is 1 times move speed. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. If we bunk our heads, we need to turn around. This needs to say direction.x times equal -1 to flip it. Okay, let us see if the xenomorph acts normally. So I think when he's going up, did I say gravity is y? I'm pretty sure I did. Uh-huh. Velocity y equals 1 times move speed. Gravity is this. If I'm climbing the wall, I'm not moving on the y-axis, or gravity is not in the y. It is on the x. And y is move speed. Yes. Did I save that? I did. Good. And it flips upside down. So then over here, does the toe register yet? I don't think I did anything, and I don't think I did enough to make it register. Although I would think that the head would be enough to collide. The head is down here, it's turned around, so the toe would be pointing at the wall. So in the toe check, transform position plus a new vector 2. So I am wondering if, front check offset and ground check offset. It's a shame that that's not centered. Check direction. Or would it be the same? It should be the same. My concern is, so what I'm thinking is, so the sprite is like 32 pixels tall. Where's the center of the xenomorph? If it's in the center of the body or close to it, that's good. Yeah, okay, that is good. So the collider should have a 0 on the both offsets, is that right? Well, that's pretty damn close. Okay, so yes. Those are fine. Ground check offset Y times check direction. Now, is check direction public? It is. So I can see that and see if it's flipped. So I'll jump in. Oy. When in doubt, start it over. I only have so many of those before the spawner runs out. Okay, pause this. Okay, so this little guy, check direction, so he's moving left, so that's -1. He's upright, so that is 1. Gonna let him climb. And then when he gets up here, oh, he decided to jump. That is a choice he has. Okay. So this guy is traveling right, which is 1 on the X and -1 on the Y. There is a game object. Right? Did I not make a game object to go onto the toad so we could see it? It's not camera border test. Did I delete it? Let's see what he looks for. That's in the xenomorph, I believe. No. Is it a transform? Work was good. How's your work?
It's okay. Everything ran good today.
That's good. The belts are all working?
Yeah.
Cool. So it would be a game object find, or if it's null, in an update. Something like that. Collider equals get component collider. That's just right on the player, I believe. Whole sprite. Whole sprite dot get component sprite renderer. Whole check sprite. Did I delete it? Oh no, it's right there. Oh, because the sprite renderer is on. Okay, now. Now we could use that to see where the toe is actually. Oh, well, that's a hole. It's not the toe. There it's saying it's not colliding though, also, which is wrong. let's make that go. If has blah blah blah. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move it to the toe, which is just right up here. And that's going to be check position, yes. And but if that, so now it's going to be if the toe is collided. And for the most part, I believe it should be red. Oh, is it only when he hits a wall? No. So he's gonna come over here and it's not gonna do not get stuck down that hole. That would suck. Soft lock my game. Yeah, so it needs to be a little bit further out and down maybe. Oh, this should be front collider anyways. What makes me turn him? What makes him climb? How about that? I'm gonna run this one more time. I don't know what. Remember if the top collider is on or not for him when he's up here. Oh, and that stayed on. Why is it? Well, I don't turn it off apparently. So let's check that. Enemy area check. Is top collision. If that equals true. If relative point dot y is greater than bound check dot top. Okay, this is going to say this is just equal to that, right? And so that can make it turn false again if it needs to be. Ooh. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about top collision. See how that is true. Oh, until he hits the wall for some reason. So top collision needs to take the Y into consideration. A relative point dot Y. This is like for each contact. So I kind of need to take that back like that, and then up here say is top collision is false, just like all these. And then relative point dot y, that's the point on the collider, is greater than that. So bound check top. I do have to wrap this in a if direction, check direction.y is 1. So this is going to be for upright. And I'll go ahead and wrap it in braces. Else, if check direction y is -1. And then here I'm going to put in for upside down. And then the math is going to be if the point is less than bound check top times -1. I could say bound check y, but or check direction dot y. So now, as he's scaling the top upside down, he should not have a top collision, because those would be like his toe collisions. All right, click U, click that. Okay, so top collision will only be on for an instant. That's when he hits his head. And it's still on. I put his toe collision and not his top collision. I don't even know if I need the toe collision anymore. Kind of feel like I decided not, that I didn't once I added a collider in the rigid body. Well, I'm assuming that it was on for a second. Okay, so now I don't know what his state is. That would have been nice to know. But I think what I need to do is check to see if there's a front collision, and then depending on the Y, like travel up, or travel down. That's in here. Was front collision a thing here? Like, it's there, but it is public as well. I'm setting it to false. I think top comes before front in the declarations. Maybe I'll put them all in like alphabetical order. Is toe collision is false also. And then, so I want to see if top collision. Oh, no. I wanted front collision. I am checking the direction of the X only, which is good. Its front collision is true. So over here, where do I check for front collision? If area check is front collision is true, we have two choices. We can either climb or turn around. Vector 2 difference equals target character dot transform dot position minus, oh yeah, so I was trying to figure out how to decide current action equals while climbing, and then we go here. And so now we are trying to go in the up direction. But I think what I need to do is go in the direction.y. So he could go down. So if top collision is true, that's when he kind of like just turns upside down and moves to somewhere else. However, there's probably going to need to be like a if, maybe it's the toe collision. Do I still want him walking on the ceiling, or do I want him to drop down? Else, if this is probably going to be where I need to fix the toe collision. But it would be an else area check dot toe collision is true, which it's not for a very large portion of that event. He should go over and then go down, which is his up then. See how it's white? It should be red. So I'm going to add a little bit more to the... I don't have a xenomorph just chilling, right? Okay. I got to go into my prefabs, enemies, and the xenomorph here. And so toe collision is probably based on the bounds check. Let's see. Ground check. Front check. X. And ground check. Ground check offset could probably afford to be moved down just a little bit. So let's do that, and I think that's done over here. Ground check. Oh. Offset is 0. So I don't want to make it... Ground check offset is 0. That's not the toe. The toe is where? Top, top, this. Times check direction, so that's okay, except I'm going to say it's not okay for this. There's a radius, right? Is there a radius variable? Ground check radius. I'm not adding that, and I might need to. So take this plus ground check radius and see it. We'll see if that keeps it red as he's skirting along the floor. Is it still putting that in the toe? Yes. It's still white. Oh, do I need to subtract? No. But it is a negative number. Ground check. So I think multiplying that by positive, negative plus a negative. Okay. Maybe I do need to make it subtract that. It's 0.05, right? Yeah. It is red there too, which is good. So when he flips upside down, this should be up in here, and it should be red. Goody goody. So that means when he hits here, he should start climbing? No. I'm going to end the climbing. I am just going to debug.log. What's the direction? Is it just called direction? .y. There's velocity.y. There's that and that. Okay. So I think the important thing is knowing in the loop what direction he's going, and also that'll tell me if it's actually inside that action. And it says front collision with solids layer. I don't know what that is, but I do not see anything that's saying -1. This is the only thing that's climbing also. This number here. And so over here is grounded as false. It should be true. But whatever. Front collision, even though this says front collision with solid layers and it's counting up, this is not checked. And even though toe collision is red, oh, am I looking at? Yeah, let's look at this. Okay. Front collision and toe collision are both checked. is grounded, is not though, which is weird. So because of that, I'm not exactly sure what action he's in. So let's look for front collision with solid layers. Solid. That's probably over here. What was it? Front collision with solids layer. That's over here in the enemy area check. So it might not be in getting into here. Climbing action. I wonder if he's kicking out, like if he got into climbing. Oh, it's debug here. Debug.log. Climbing. That's ceiling climbing. So this is, I'm sorry, wall climbing. This is ceiling climbing. If has front hole is true, that I don't have anything that breaks out and goes into wall climbing from ceiling climbing. Else if area check is front collision. Probably should rename that to has as well. Equals true. Then we go into wall climbing. So current action equals wall climbing action. And because he's already upside down, all of that should just work. We'll see. Oops, I didn't want to fall. What are you doing? Okay, so there was a thing that I did where there was a delay, right? Do I remember that? Do you remember that? Last check count. I need to do that here as well. So that was like, I'm climbing. And when I switched from being on the ground to the ceiling, there are some things that I don't want to check. So when I'm climbing on the ceiling and he hits his head, I also want to do this as well. And this is where I think I need to set last check count. Like that. And then in here, in wall climbing again. I do this, right? Because I'm climbing the wall, and then I hit my head. I say we're climbing the ceiling now. Front collision is true until the next loop. Okay. Okay, so he should go up. He should be upside down and go over. He should stay upside down and he should come up here, and I don't know what's going to happen after that. Yes, okay. So he's just going to make this infinite loop. Although when there is no longer the toe collision, when he's climbing, I think that's when I just need to, decide whether he's going to try and crawl over or if he's going to just drop. I don't know how he's making that decision. I don't have a thing that turns him around yet. And he just climbed down that wall like a boss. Oh, he's going to die. Bye-bye. Gracefully. Okay. I know it's not super late, but I do have to get up early in the morning. So that was a quickie. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by.